Hi, Subhash from DSF here. We're at the Cybertruck preview. So this is the Tesla Cybertruck. It's an actual production unit. So this came from Austin, Texas, apparently. They're not going to sell this car here yet because they don't have a right-hand drive version. They only have the left-hand drive. This is, I think, the all-wheel drive version. And there's going to be a rear-wheel drive version coming out later. And then there's also like the Cyber Beast, which is super fast. We'll put some of the stats up here. So this is an interesting vehicle because if this is launched before the rival electric trucks, this would be the first electric pickup truck in Malaysia. So is it functional as an electric truck? Well, the trunk bed is electronically operated and it's got this cover up here which is strong enough to actually hold the weight of an adult human. I'm not going to test it out because I'm slightly above the average weight and also I don't have the dexterity to climb up here. But yeah, this is operated by a button over here. And as you can see, before the cover goes all the way up, it's actually blocking the rear window. So you can't see anything out the back with the bed covered. Only when you retract it all the way, then you can use that rear window. Otherwise, you use a camera that is mounted here. And that's technology for you. So as we know, a lot of pickup truck buyers in Malaysia, especially those who are going for the more flagship EVs, they're not buying it to actually do rough road work. They're not doing construction work. They're not doing business with their pickup truck. It's more of an urban cowboy kind of thing. And I think the Cybertruck is the ultimate urban cowboy, a tech cowboy. Yeah, so there's a lot of new things that you can do with a shape like this, including having an extra space underneath here for your charging cables, I guess. But yeah, as it stands, this is not going to be a very utilitarian truck, but it is a very unique truck. And part of that unique truck proposition is the steel body. So the entire body is basically the structure of the car. The guy just punched it. I hope he's okay. Yeah, it's made of steel. Oh my god, he's really going for it. This guy is a professional kung fu master, and so he's trained. Don't do it at home. Don't do it if you see the truck. So yeah, because the whole truck is made out of stainless steel, it's like a fridge. And yeah, this would work on a normal iron car as well. But I wanted to have that fridge aesthetic on the Cybertruck, so I brought a magnet. And yeah, the steel is actually very, very strong and it's almost impossible to bend. So there's only one like curvy panel in the front, which we'll show you. But the rest of the panels are all basically straight. And yeah, it's not just because of the aesthetics, it's also because of production limitations. I mean, the tech limitations, you can't really make a device that can bend steel properly. And so only the front panel is bent. And yeah, they did this, I think, deliberately because they wanted to create a shape that you've never seen before. But also because they wanted to change the way trucks are made. Because every other pickup truck that has ever been made or sold in Malaysia even, it's all ladder frame. You have the frame at the bottom and then you have a metal kind of structure on top. And in the Tesla Cybertruck, it's completely different. It's a completely different way of looking at things. They create the stainless steel structure and that is, both the shape and the skeleton, the exoskeleton of the vehicle. It's very, very unique. But yeah, that's not the only thing that is unique. It's more than skin deep and we'll show you more of the features in the front. So over at the front, immediately you can see how much handling this car has been, at the front you can see how much fingerprints and smudges the car has picked up just from people opening up the front bonnet. Yeah, there you go. So it's a powered front lid and instead of your engine you get a kind of bench thing that you can sit in and you can take my weight. And yeah, you even close it with a power button over here. Yeah. This edge is really, really sharp. Almost feels like a safety hazard. But yeah, that's the front for you. Ready? So let's go into this car, and as you can see, there's no handles or anything like that. So it's a little bit weird. You basically press this button. It's not even a button, it's just like a surface. And that opens up, and it's a very sharp edge. And I mentioned before that it's steel on the outside, but on the inside it's other metals. I think there's aluminum and stuff like that. So the interior structure is not really steel. I think it's aluminum, and then they've welded it together here. So the outside and the inside, two different materials. And then, of course, once you step inside, it's no longer that hard, scary looking thing. It's actually quite a inviting cabin. Inside, you got leather, of course, fake leather. Tesla doesn't really use genuine leather on these products. Uh, there's very, very minimalist look. No, you know, door handles. The power window is just a flat, gigantic piece here, this button. And even the door handle is just a button. Now, I'm not sure if they've put an emergency release. I know on the BMW iX, that's kind of mandatory, so you have to like look around and you'll find an emergency release. But here, I don't see one, so I don't know how Tesla is doing that aspect of the safety, whether they do have an emergency door release. Maybe it's hidden away somewhere. But yeah, it's a very, very high-tech, different way of looking at the vehicle, different way of producing a vehicle. And it even extends to the things that you don't really see. So the entire structure of the electrical system is all running on 48 volts, which has never been done before in a vehicle. 48 volts is only used on one or two components, like in Mercedes-Benz, they have the ISG, the integrated starter generator. But the rest of the components are still running on 12 volt. Whereas on the Tesla Cybertruck, everything, the lights, the screens, the windows, all of these electronic components are running on 48 volts, and that lets them use less copper wire, which can help them bring down the price, but it's not like it's not like this is a cheap vehicle anyway. So yeah, besides that, the only big issue now is whether they can get this in at an attractive price. They've already got 1 million pre-orders or something like that in the US. When they start to produce a right-hand drive model, we'll see. Maybe the pricing 300, 400,000 would be reasonable. Tax-free, of course. Once you have the tax on board, then it's going to be 800 to 1 million ringgit for a truck. But the way I think about it is, it's not really a pickup truck. This is a statement car, very obviously, especially from the front. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, this is not really going to be a utilitarian truck. It's going to be the car that you park next to your supercar, the car that you drive instead of your supercar, because it actually has seating for 4 or 5 adults. Yeah, very, very different way of doing things. That's the Tesla Cybertruck. Over now.